What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. Another week in the books. Really, I should say almost another year in the books. It's pretty crazy how fast time's going right now. In today's video, we're going to utilize all of the games remaining in NFL Week 17, both on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I'm going to put together a player prop parlay for you guys using Outlier's software that I'm 10 out of 10 confidence is going to cash. So we're going to drop a good one in today's video. I also plan, as of now, to upload a video for Saturday going over all the games and my picks against the spread for college basketball. So look forward to that video tomorrow morning, or maybe even later in the evening hours tonight. I'm not sure when I'll be able to get that done. And of course, our ladder challenge coming down to Saturday hangs in the balance. We're on day 3. We've already taken $1,000 above $5,000. And if we just get 2 more legs, now look, this is sports betting. There's no guarantees. I wish I could say that, but I do feel really, really good about Saturday. The 2 legs remaining on our ticket that go down on Saturday are the 2 that were the less risky ones. They were the more conservative bets, teams in must win or critical situations for the playoffs, getting a ton of points. So I feel really good about Saturday. Cross our fingers. There's no injuries, nothing crazy. Hopefully we can advance, and we'll have over $11,000 just off that $1,000 starting line. And I'll post a video in the evening hours or late afternoon hours on Saturday with the day 4, our finish line ticket, taking us to the final finish line of $25,000. I hope you guys have been tailing this far. If we get through Saturday, that's already a 10x on your money. Definitely drop a like on today's video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Like I said, I got a lot of content coming up here and hopefully just the next 24 hours. I don't know when these videos are going to come out. I'm just going to kind of do them in a timely fashion. So turn those notifications on and you'll know immediately when I post something here on the YouTube channel. Of course, guys, with everything going on this weekend with college basketball, I'm 4-1 in my last 2 Saturdays in college hoops. I'm coming off a 3-week absolute heater in the NFL, up over 27 units. You can see the updated total. We added more to it on Christmas. If the week ended right now, it would be my 4th straight winning week in NFL. So feeling excellent. I have a pile of picks I've already sent out to the client list. You guys can get all of those plays immediately. That's college football and NFL so far, and I will have Saturday college basketball action as well. The link to my website right in the description of this video. If you guys are new to sports betting, even $100 better is up almost $3,000 with my NFL picks over about the last 3 weeks. So yeah, just looking forward to the weekend. Got a ton of picks, and there's more coming as well. I have some more texts to send out, just finalizing up some late injury reports, some late weather reports as well. It's very, very important this time of year. So finishing up some numbers. There will be some more bets to come out, including probably another max play. We've hit those 3 in a row. So yeah, we're absolutely cooking right now. Again, link to my website in the description. Let me go ahead and adjust the screen, guys. So Outlier. Let's use some filters here. We'll go to games. You know what? Some of these games I don't think represent good opportunities or consistent, predictable opportunities, even for player props. Chargers, Patriots. I don't know how much offense we're going to get in a game like that. Chargers on the road, LA team, cold weather. I just don't love the game overall for props. So we're just going to highlight the games where right off the bat, I think we're going to actually be able to find some things that are worth risking our money on. We're going to take the Broncos game. Cardinals-Rams game should have some opportunities. Jets-Bills is a pass as well based on weather and Kansas City locking up that number 1 seed. It just kind of alters that game a little bit as well. Titans-Jaguars, not worth our money. Panthers-Buccaneers, maybe we'll throw that in for some passing props. Raiders and Saints, not worth our money, guys. Cowboys-Eagles, tempting, but not worth our money. Colts-Giants, not worth our money. Dolphins-Browns, not worth our money. Packers-Vikings, absolutely worth betting on. Falcons-Commanders, absolutely. And the Lions as well. The Lions are a good team for props. So this is just one of the many tools you guys can have available on Outlier. Of course, there's a link in the description of this video. You guys can get a full week of this software as a free trial. I mean, there's no payment. You can sign up if you're looking to put together your own parlays this week, this weekend, the rest of the year, the whole next week, any sports, NBA, whatever you guys want. There is a free trial. Use the link in the description of this video. If you test it out and you start cashing a ton of bets, then consider the subscription. But it's a no-brainer to at least download it and use it for the next week. Take advantage of that. I don't even know how long that'll be available, so jump on that. I'm also going to come over here and go to the propositions and filter these out. I'm not going to bet on kicking or interceptions or a team to have a safety. Like, we're not going to be betting on that stuff. There's no need to have too many things in front of our face. So again, we're going to use this cool outlier software, and we're going to go ahead and whittle this down. So let's go down here. Made field goals may be worth considering. Let's keep going down. Passing attempts is important to know. Passing touchdowns, I would think, is worth being in the mix. Passing yards, of course. Receiving yards, of course. Receptions, of course. Keep going down. Rush and receiving, we'll go with that as well. Maybe some running backs will be in the mix. Rushing attempts is important. It'll at least give us some data, considering if we want to take a rushing yards prop. So we'll add that in as well. We'll leave the spread and the total alone because this is going to be a player prop only video. I've already pretty much finalized what I like with spreads and totals for some other content, and of course my premium. So we're going to go to the results. Let's see what we got. Jared Goff has exceeded 1.5 passing touchdowns in 6 of his last 7 games, averaging 2.7. So really, not only is he getting that 2, he's really close to the 3. I mean, he's closer to getting 3 a game than 2 a game. Let's look into this a little bit further. The only thing here, guys, you can see passing touchdowns against the 49ers are ranked 5th. So you don't love to see that, but they do have some recent injuries over there, which makes this a little bit more impressive. You can see this tough game here against the Colts, 24-6, kind of a snooze fest. A lot of stuff on the ground. I think now with Montgomery not in the lineup, even when the Lions get down to the red zone or even in 1st and goal inside of the 10, I do think the pass is becoming more likely for this Lions team now that Monty's not in there. I mean, they would love to just punch it home, running Montgomery there close to the goal line. So without him, I like this prop even more. I like the current makeup of the Lions and throw in the injuries that the 49ers have had. I like this a lot. I mean, the last 3 guys, 3, 5, and 3. Let's actually let's take a peek at this. Passing plays, 65, 77, 76. I mean, the last game was a blowout, so I'm not even going to really count that. Passing attempts in the red zone looks pretty good, looks solid over the last 5. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Let's go back up, though. I want to look over the last 10, a little bit better sample size here. And there's only 2 exceptions, man. There's only 2 out of the last 10 where Goff came up short of this. So I'm going to write that down. Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns. Look, at the end of the day, this Lions team keeps their foot on the gas. It's not the Seahawks. It's not a team that plays scared. They don't play not to lose. They play to win. They keep their foot on the gas. If the 49ers are going to lay down and be soft in this game and present the opportunity for a blowout, we're going to see it. And we're going to see a lot of touchdowns for Jared Goff. So I like this a lot, guys. We can see the targets here as well in that area when they get down there. Let's go to red zone targets. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. I like where we're at with this one. I think we're off to a good start. Worst case scenario, maybe we can just put in 1+ touchdown in this parlay for an absolute lock as one piece. We'll have to look at the odds, but I think we're off to a good start with that one. Ricky Pearsall, I'm just not willing to bet anything 49ers. I don't love it. And that's an under prop as well. Just in general, as we go down here. Jared Goff has exceeded 250.5 passing yards in 5 of his last games, averaging 335.8. Let's look into this a little bit further. Let's go back to the last 10. So we had a little stretch here, 85, 145, and then 240. But if we're looking at like 200 plus, and we look at the last 6, looks really good. Looks really good. And without Montgomery, again, I think the pass is more likely. I do think it's more likely. The only thing that would concern me is if this game gets out of control, they have a huge lead, and then they're just kind of milking things. But you know what? The spread being down right around a field goal, 3.5 in this game, the offense for the 49ers still, very, very capable. And we know this Detroit defense is not good, and they should give up some points in this game. So I do think the Lions are going to have to keep their foot on the gas, at least for right now. I'm going to write it down. Let's write down Jared Goff over on passing yards. And of course, we're going to be taking alternative props. We're not going to go over his line exactly as set at, if it's at 250.5, maybe we'll throw in like a 200 plus type of a prop. And yeah, I mean, it just looks really good. I just wanted to double check a couple things. Let's keep going. Laporta failed to exceed 45.5 yards. So again, this is an under prop in 4 of his last 5 games, but he's averaging 36.2. He's averaging 36.2. Maybe we consider Laporta to get 25 plus yards. Let's look into his last 10. I don't like it. There's a couple in there where he's not used as much. And I know those were games where they had Monty in there and they're maybe running the ball more, but I just don't love it. Deebo Samuel, absolutely not making a ticket. Nobody ever should bet on that guy ever again. Moody, field goals, interesting. Not really interested in that. Juwan Jennings, not interested. Gibbs failed to exceed 91.5 rushing yards in 11 of his last 15, averaging 71.7. Well, there's no Monty in there now. There's no Monty. This is a whole different animal. Let's look at the recent game. First game where he was alone, 109 on the ground. I think this is worth looking at. They can still run the ball. They need some balance on offense. Gibbs, rush, alternative over. We can also look at the rankings here. Let me scroll back up if it'll let me. I lost my search bar. There we go. 15th. San Fran is 15th. They're middle in the pack versus the rush. I like it. Jared Goff, rushing, Purdy's, props, not interested. Jahmyr Gibbs, rush plus receiving. Maybe this is a better idea than just the rush. Pretty impressive there. Let me throw in slash receiving. I think that's a good look. He's just got to be utilized so much. St. Brown failed to exceed 71.5 in 5 of his last 6, averaging 66 and 66.2. Look, I think he's due, man. He's due for like a 100-yarder. I'm going to put it in. Amon-Ra St. Brown, throwing the injuries to San Fran. Their season's done. Lions keeping their foot on the gas, averaging 66.2. Maybe we put in like 40 plus on him or something. I think that's worth a look. Least worth writing down for now. Jameson Williams, another one pretty tempted to go with there, but he kind of he relies a little bit more on the big play sometimes, not the volume. I think Amon-Ra is a little bit of a safer bet. Kittle exceeded 5.5 receptions in 4 of his last 5 games, averaging 6 per game. We all know the situation and the injuries with the Niners. We think we have a pretty good idea that the Lions are going to be ahead in this game. So San Fran's going to be passing the ball. I like it. George Kittle. I wasn't going to bet on 49ers props, but George Kittle, alternative receptions. Maybe we just throw him in to get like 2 or 3 catches, averaging 6 a game at home. Let's look at his last 10. So there was only one little outline game where he didn't get at least 3, and it was against Buffalo. Do you guys remember this game? It was a blizzard. It was ice cold and snow. I'm not going to put it on him for that. So George Kittle receptions, I like it. Algier rushing, interesting. 6.5 rushing attempts. I mean, Bijan can't do everything. Bijan has failed to exceed 65.5 rushing in 5 of his last 6, averaging 55.5. I think they can run on Washington, though. And I think the game plan for the Atlanta Falcons, if they want to beat Washington, they got to keep Washington off the field offensively. So I could see a pretty run-heavy game going here for the Falcons. And also, Penix. Yeah, okay, you beat the Giants. Now you go on the road to Washington. This is a different animal. Both teams in dire situations. I think the running backs here for Atlanta are going to get a pretty good dose. So I'm going to write down Bijan rush, and Algier attempts. Maybe we'll find some alternative lines there. Let's look at the last 10 for Bijan Robinson. There's some outliers. There's some outliers. Not to quote the software that we're using. There are some outliers. And Washington is 11th against the run. Guess I didn't know they were that high. I'm going to put a star next to that. Kyle Pitts, Jaden Daniels with the passing touchdowns. Yeah. Bijan Rush plus receiving, averaging 77.9 rush plus receiving. So maybe if we're going to use Bijan, a little bit better to go with the double. Interesting. Brian Robinson, maybe his rush. Atlanta's defense, though, it's been pretty good. I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to skip most of this. So Bijan's exceeded 2.5 receptions. He's averaging 4 per game. 4 per game. Bijan Robinson receptions. If the odds are doable, maybe we just put in 2+ or 1+. He should get there. I expect in a road environment, big time game, Sunday night football, young quarterback, they're going to keep it short. You know, they're going to use high percentage stuff. They don't need him running around launching 50-yard passes. I think they want to use him in high percentage stuff, nice and close, and little dump offs to the running backs. That'll work. So I do like that. Jaden Daniels passing attempts. I like that as a single bet, to be honest. Let's keep going here. Josh Jacobs. I don't want to take him against Minnesota. Could be a really nasty, gritty game. Defenses could step up. Minnesota, I do like the D-line, so I'm not going to go there. Jordan Love's failed to exceed 31.5 passing attempts in 5 straight games on the road, only averaging 22.4. Look, in this game, though, I think he's going to have to keep up. I think we're going to see points. So maybe we get kind of a buy low on Jordan Love, but that is going against what the software is telling us. So we'll keep going here. TJ Hawkinson exceeded 42.5 receiving yards in 15 of his last 19 games. He's averaging damn near 60. Interesting. Let's look at his last 10. A little bit inconsistent. Packers versus tight ends, about middle of the pack, ranked 15th. I don't love it. We'll move on. Jordan Love passing yards. Well, he barely got 150 for us the other night. It took a couple passes in his final series. That was a blowout game, though. I like Jordan Love in this game. I'm gonna bypass. I'm gonna use my own knowledge as a professional to bypass the software on this one. Jordan Love, alt passing. I think Minnesota. I think the whole world is well aware of just how good Josh Jacobs is. And if Minnesota wants to win this game, they can't let Josh Jacobs go wild. So I think it'll come down to Jordan Love. I also think it's a back and forth game. Vikings are going to score as well. And I do think Jordan Love's going to have to pass more in this game. So I don't love the suggestion there. Darnold, interesting. He's going to have to pass as well. He's got to keep up with Jordan Love. He's going to have to score points in this game. I think the Green Bay defense can slow down Aaron Jones. So interesting. Aaron Jones has exceeded 14.5 rushing attempts in 7 of his last 9 games, averaging 16.4. And it's against his old team. A little bit of an extra edge there for Aaron Jones. Maybe we go with an Aaron Jones alternative rush. I do think the Packers are a little bit better against the pass. Let's actually look at that. 9th. They're 9th. They're pretty good against the rush. Green Bay's defense is solid. Maybe we'll put a star next to that. Don't love it as much. Jordan Addison on receptions. Interesting. Averaging 5.4 a game. I mean, Justin Jefferson just gets so much attention. Addison's almost always available on plays. Let's go with Addison, not on yards, but on receptions. We'll take a look at that. Josh Jacobs, don't love it. He also had a little nagging injury in the end of the last game. He said he was fine at the end of the game and could have gone back in if it was a competitive game, but still a little bit risky here. Hawkinson, 3.8 receptions a game. Interesting. Darnold, exceeding 1.5 passing touchdowns in 5 of his last 6, averaging 2.5. So maybe we go with maybe Sam Darnold 1+ touchdown. I'm going to write that down for now. Aaron Jones has exceeded 63.5 rushing yards. He's averaging almost 70 in 4 of his last 5 games at home. Strength schedule, though, not great. And like we already looked at, the Packers' rush D is solid. Let's keep going here. Addison's yards. Yeah, I think I'd rather go with receptions. Justin Jefferson has exceeded 6.5 receptions in 5 straight games at home, averaging 7 per game at home. He's going to get blanketed. Hard to believe he's not going to get doubled. He's that good. I think he still is going to get some catches for us. I'm going to write JJ down for receptions. Josh Jacobs, again, is rushing. Maybe we could put an alt rush. Baker, there's a chance this game could be a blowout, so I don't love it. But we all know the situation with Mike Evans. And with some more injuries to this Tampa Bay team, Mike Evans is going to get a workload in this one. I'm going to write down Mike Evans. I'm going to write down both receptions and yards. We'll look at some alt lines for him. Bucky Irvin. Bucky alt rushing makes sense to me, as they should have the lead in this game. They should beat the Panthers. They should be running the ball in the second half. Maybe not the first half, but if they're up like 14 or 10 points in that second half, they're going to want to grind the clock out. So Bucky Irvin, alternative rush, I think makes a lot of sense. Let's see his last 10 here. Interesting. So he had kind of one stinker game in the last 6. Let's look at the head-to-head. Yeah, he had 152. He had 152 versus him before. I like that. Anything else here sticking out, or should we pop over to FanDuel and start drawing this up? Again, Bucky Irvin, Mike Evans, Stafford, this Rams game. I don't really know about that Rams game. Maybe Kyron Williams on rushing. Kyron Williams rush yards / attempts. I think that's worth a look. Cooper Kupp, nah. Puka, his lines are so crazy. I mean, he's averaging 9.2 receptions a game. I don't know. The Cardinals are very volatile. They have the ability to win this game outright. They could show up totally flat and get blasted, though. So I don't love that. We'll keep going down here. Let's get into some of these Bengals props. Chase Brown. He's not going to be able to rush on Denver, though. So I don't love that. Burrow getting a lot of passing attempts. 41.4 attempts a game. And I could see the same thing here. It's going to be a good competitive football game. We know their defense stinks. Joe's going to have to throw a lot in this game. They're going to have to score if they want to win this game. So, interesting. Jamar Chase, averaging 92.2 rush and receiving a game. Interesting. Joe Burrow has exceeded 270 through the air in 5 of his last 6, averaging damn near 330 on an absolute roll. Joe Burrow, alternative passing yards. Bo Nix has exceeded his passing yards in 4 of his last 5 games as well. I think that makes sense. We know this Cincy defense stinks. We know it. And we know if Denver wants to win and clinch a playoff position, the only way you're beating Cincy is scoring a lot yourself. Bo Nix, passing yards. Hopefully it's not his first game where he really looks like a rookie. What else we got here? Anything? I don't want to go with that rushing prop. I don't want to go with any of these either because they're so juiced. Joe Burrow's exceeded 2.5 passing touchdowns in 5 of his last 6, averaging 3.3. We could throw it in, but it's just too juiced. I don't want to go with 2+ in case some of them come on the ground. And 1+ is just too juiced. So that's it, guys. That's it. That was the full list. That is a ton of stuff, man. You could spend hours on here further researching each of these that you like. just like I just did. You could go through the whole list, star what you like, put it on paper, research each one further on the internet, do your weather reports, do your injury reports, do everything, come up with what you think the game script is going to be for the game. You guys could spend 4 or 5 hours a day doing this and make a lot more money than any 9 to 5 you could ever have. This software is really, really amazing. Let's pop over to FanDuel Sportsbook and let's build this sucker. Let's build it. NFL. Scroll down. Let's go here. Let's go to passing. How bad is it? How juiced is it? 274 for Burrow. What's Burrow just to get 200? Minus 700. Joe Burrow to throw for 200 yards. Is it worth it? This can be a good competitive game. Both teams scoring points. He's going to have to move the ball. Denver has good defense. I really don't see the rush attack. I think we're going to throw it in. Joe Burrow to get 200. Like we just looked at. He's averaging like in the 300s. Numbers look good for this. Numbers look great for him to get upper 200s, if not 300. We just need 200 here. 100 per half. Joe Burrow, that's piece number 1. We're going to go with that. Receiving. Let's look at Jamar. He's up at 92. T. Higgins at almost 70. Let's look at receptions. Chase Brown, 3.5. They use him a lot. Jamar Chase to get us 50 yards. 50 yards out of Jamar. Yeah, they're getting that. Let's throw that in. That's a lock. That's a lock. And then Chase Brown. I'm not going to do 25. I want receptions for Chase Brown. We're throwing it in. He's catching 2. He's catching 2. And that's all we're doing with that game. That's all we're doing. We're already at minus 249. It's going to be a sick parlay, guys. It's going to be a nice cash. We're hitting this. Cardinals, Rams. I think there's just too much volatility in a game like this. I just don't know what we're going to get out of the Cardinals. I just don't know. Tempted to put in Kyron Williams rushing, but the Cardinals are off such an embarrassing game losing to Carolina. I don't want them to show up here full effort. I think we're going to pass on that one. Let's keep going down. The Cowboys game, wasn't interested in that. Colts, no. Bills, no. This game here, let's at least look at Bucky Irving and Mike Evans. Baker said it. Actually, those aren't even available yet. So this is kind of another thing we're running into. You know, when you bet on stuff like this early, some of these player props aren't quite available. So we'll just do what we can for now. We're already at minus 249. It's not going to take too much to get over this. Let's go to this Packers game. They should have more stuff up in a big game like this. Let's go to rushing. Aaron Jones at 64.5. Josh Jacobs at 68. Aaron Jones. Do we think Aaron Jones can rush for 40? I think it's a game where these teams are just going to be passing the football. Just back and forth scoring. I can't trust that. Josh Jacobs. Do we want to trust Josh Jacobs against a pretty good defense that should be fired up at home? I don't like it enough. Let's go to receiving. Was there anything in there? We have nothing written down besides Addison and Jefferson. Addison's around 60. Jefferson's around 91. Hawkinson, 42.5. I want to look at receptions. Addison, 4.5. Hawkinson, 4.5. Juiced heavily to the under. Justin Jefferson at 6.5. I think we're going to pass on that. I think we're going to go with Jordan Addison on receptions at 3+. I like that. What's Hawkinson at for 3? He's got to get 3 as well. The secondary for the Pack is actually pretty good. I think it could be a tight end like Hawkinson. that could get some catches here. And to be honest, Sam Darnold loves going to this guy on third down. Hawkinson or Addison? Let's go Addison to get us 3 receptions. I think we'll throw Hawkinson in the mix too. In a game like this, both of those guys are going to have to step up. I want to bet Justin Jefferson. He's so good, but he's the one that's going to be drawing the attention. Those other guys are catching 3 footballs. They're going to catch 3 catches. 100%. Let's keep going down. Let's go to this Lions game. I don't know if the props are up yet. No, they're not. Let's see if we can get just a couple more in here. We're already at -102. We could leave it alone right now. I really like the ticket we've built so far. Let's see if we can get anything for this Sunday night football game in. Passing props are out. Not interested in that. I'm interested in the rushing, though. We got Bijan up at 83.5. Let's go to receiving. Let's look at Bijan for this. Bijan, where's Bijan? 21.5 for Bijan. Let's look at receptions. 3.5, heavily juiced to the under. So what about Bijan alt receptions just to catch 2? Will he get 2 passes out of the backfield? Will he get 2 passes out of the backfield? The game script would suggest it. Little dump-offs, road environment. They don't want to get cute. They don't want to get cute, though. His total's only set at 21.5. I think this is where you just draw the line. I want to throw one more thing in, but you know what? -102. That's about double your money. Let's run back through these. So we got Joe Burrow, 200 passing yards. Jamar Chase, 50. Chase Brown, 2 catches. Jordan Addison and Hawkinson to catch 3 footballs. And that's it. 5 legs, double your money, -102. I like it. That's what we're going to rock with. Player prop with good game scripts, with needed players in needed positions. -102. Not the greediest ticket I've ever built, but it's a good one. I think this is a real chance to hit. I have it written down. I'll be betting this myself. Not for the amount of money I actually bet my premium bets at, but I don't know. I'll put a couple, at least some beer money on it for fun. I think this has a great chance to hit. You guys have got to let me know, out of those 5 legs, which one you think is going to ruin this ticket. Let me know in the comment section. And hey, like I said, college hoops, NFL, college football playoff, bigger bowl games that aren't included in the playoff. This is a massive end to the year, guys. Massive weekend and massive end to 2024. You see the numbers down there. Link to my website in the description. Get on my text list. I'll send you all the plays I've already sent out this week. You can lock those in. Get ready for more text being sent to your phone. It's going to be a massive end to the year. See you guys in the next video.